Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. What could be better than revenge over noisy and littering neighbors after which they get fined? Let's start our video with just such a story. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Here are the apples you've lost. Where I live, dorms don't really exist, so students have to rent their own apartment. The apartment I've been renting for 3 years is located in a residence complex right next to 4 universities, so even if there are families, most of the people living here are actually students. That being said, you can imagine that there are parties going on every week. I'm a 20-year-old girl and a pretty chill neighbor, I think. I've never called the cops, only knock at doors a couple of times, politely asking them to lower the volume, but most of the time I just don't make a huge deal out of it. Put some earplugs on and keep studying. When I'm the one throwing a party, I make sure to leave a note to my neighbors the day before and even invite them to come by and have a drink if they want to, and I never had a single argument with them. 3 weeks ago, a guy living on the 3rd floor decided to throw a party on a Friday night. Considering it's Friday, most students go back to their parents for the weekend, so he probably thought they'd be partying hard without being bothered. So here they are, shouting, singing, and drinking with all the windows open. I'm a bit pissed, but don't really care as I don't have to wake up early the next morning. They keep being louder and louder until 1:30 a.m. when almost all the remaining neighbors were yelling from their windows that if they didn't lower the volume and stop shouting, they'd call the cops. Hearing the argument, I stepped outside on my balcony to see what's going on and spot empty cups and beer cans, so I tell them to stop throwing trash on my balcony, then go back in my room. They still continue to party after that, but stopped shouting, so I went to bed and forgot about it. Next morning, I woke up, opened the curtains, and what did I see? More cups, more cans, but also apples. More precisely, pieces of smashed apples as well as eggs and potatoes. At first, I just stared with a WTF look on my face, and then I started fuming. I went outside, collected all the trash in a plastic bag, and tried to clean my balcony the best I could. My boyfriend told me to call the owner of the apartments and show him a picture of my balcony, but at that point, I was so pissed that this solution seemed too formal to me and told him I needed a real revenge to calm down. I spent the entire morning thinking about what I was going to do when I saw the plastic bag with all the trash inside. I opened it and started to add everything I could find as long as it was strong flavored: soy sauce, curry, fresh eggs, as well as the liquid inside tuna cans. I then closed the bag and put it for the rest of the day on the balcony, hidden under a chair. That evening, I went to bed quite early, but not before setting an alarm to 3 a.m. on my phone. That's how I woke up in the middle of the night, wrote a note, took the plastic bag full of trash to the 3rd floor, emptied it right in front of his door, and taped the note that said, "Here are the apples, potatoes, and other stuff you seem to have lost yesterday." I then went back to bed, thought about the putrid scent, and slept like a baby the rest of the night. Oh, by the way, I later learned from a friend that lives on the same floor that the guy had been fined 300 euros, so I guess I'm not the only one that got my revenge this time. And our second story. Customer complains because I'm too good at my job. So this happened yesterday. I work at your favorite neighborhood grocery store. If you're an American, you can probably figure it out. We're known for being super friendly and helpful, and to be fair, at my store at least, it's pretty easy because most of our customers are pleasant people. There are the occasional bad eggs that you run into, and I came across mine in the last hour of my shift. I'm a 28-year-old female, the section leader for the grocery section of the store, canned, most dry goods, oil, etc. So I was standing in my aisle when an older white woman approached me asking for dried black beans, but unfortunately they were discontinued several years back. This grocery store is known for carrying essentials, but also some specialty items, and things get discontinued all the time. We don't carry brand names and have a limited selection. Most people that shop there understand this. So I told Karen, "No, we don't have those, I'm sorry." She just stares at me, saying nothing, so I repeat myself, thinking she didn't hear me because masks, etc. After I repeat myself, she says, "I used to buy them here." So I respond saying, "Sorry, but we haven't had those in the time I've worked here." By this point, she's clearly upset and says that she's going to ask up front. where there's always a manager, and she winks at me and continues saying maybe they'll give her a nicer answer like, I'll go check the back for you. So now I'm pissed because this bee clearly is threatening to complain about me to the manager. Normally when I come across a difficult customer, I try to disarm them or I just let it go. But this lady really pissed me off, so I told her, well, ma'am, I write the order for this section, so I know we don't carry that item. I'm sorry I wasn't nice enough for you, but no matter who you ask, the answer is still the same. We don't have it. Have a good day. So she huffed off and I continued writing my order. There happened to be a coworker of mine in the aisle when it happened, along with a couple other customers, so I asked my coworker if she heard the exchange because I wanted a third-party opinion on how I handled it. She said she thought the lady was clearly agitated and that I kept decorum, and if she needed me to be a witness, she'd back me up. I wasn't really worried about how I handled myself because I know I wasn't rude, but you never know if people will lie or how a manager will take it. A little while later, a manager approaches me and I tell him exactly what he's there to talk to me about, and I explain my side of what happened. He said my story matched up with what she said and that I wasn't in trouble, but that she was disappointed in the lack of effort I showed. He said that even if I have to go to the back room to walk around in circles just to please the customer, that I should do it. Well, I refuse to do that. I know my section like the back of my freaking hand. I bust my butt every day breaking down pallets and stocking my section, many times by my damn self. I'm not going to tickle the balls of any bee because she doesn't trust my answer or knowledge of my place of work. If she can't trust my answer, then she or anyone shouldn't ask me. Because at the end of the day, I'm damn good at my job and I know WTF I'm talking about. Both customers and shop workers owe each other respect under normal circumstances, up to the point where the customer's being a butt. And our last story. Entitled mother thinks reserved for customer with kids parking spots aren't for me and my child. This happened this past weekend while grocery shopping with my 18-month-old child. The town I live in has a big community fest each year on Main Street. It's a typical New England type of Main Street in that it's actually two different one-way streets with a big field in the middle. The small number of available parking spots around the area are usually taken by the vendors, so the town offers shuttle service from the local grocery store, which is about a mile away. This, in turn, makes parking tough at the grocery store, so I made sure to get there early. The store has parking for customers with children spots in a couple rows. It's pretty convenient because it's 4 spots on one side with a cart pickup/return in the middle. Instead of trying to carry my kid, the diaper bag, and the reusable shopping bags into the store to grab a cart, they're right there. All this is important. Players are me, entitled mother, EM, and store manager, SM. I was lucky enough to grab one of the kids' spots Saturday morning, which was great because there weren't many other spots available, if any. I was in the process of loading my kid into the cart when it started. EM, excuse me? Me. Goes about my business because I have no idea she's talking to me. EM, excuse me? Me looks around and realizes she's talking to me. What's up? EM, you parked in the wrong spot. Me gestures to the sign. These are for customers with children? At this point, I gear myself up for an argument about how they're not for dads with children, which is a disagreement a friend of mine said he got into once. EM, it says children, but you have one child. Children means 2 or more. Me smiles. I think we both know it just means customers who have their kid with them. EM, it means customers with 2 children or more. You have to park somewhere else. Me starts pushing my cart and child towards the store. I'm not moving. EM starts shrieking, and I mean shrieking to the point where it made my child jump. That spot's not for you and your one kid. It's for people like me with 2 kids. At this point, I decided to stop engaging and just get into the store. I'm not trying to get into a parking lot dispute with my 18-month-old child with me. Hell no. I was almost there when she started blasting the horn. Not just beeping it, but laying on it so it was just a constant horn sound. EM, get your effing car out of that spot or I'll have the manager tow it. I got into the store just as the manager was heading out. He heard the yelling and beeping and asked what was happening. I told him the truth. Some crazy lady was pissy because I parked in the spot for customers with kids. He looked at me, looked at my child, and then back outside, where EM had just parked across 2 handicapped parking spots. Out of her SUV climbed 2 children who looked to be about 10 to 12 years old. Store manager sees this and runs outside. SM: "Ma'am, you can't park in the handicap spot without a handicap sticker. You'll get a ticket." EM: "I don't give a crap. There's no other spot since some a-hole's taking up the kid parking spots with only 1 kid." At this point, the doors closed and I couldn't hear anything else. Thankfully, I didn't run into her while shopping, which was probably a small miracle. 45 minutes later, I was heading out the door and see a cop parked next to the lady's SUV and he's writing her a ticket. The state I'm in is a $150 fine for the first violation and $250 for any after that. I'm not sure if taking 2 spots equals 2 fines, but she's probably lucky her car wasn't towed. Hopefully, the cop wrote 2 tickets, one for $150 and one for $250. The woman is psycho, but I have to give her credit for the ingenuity in her argument. I never would have thought to say that children means 2 or more kids. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.